All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning and welcome to this Monday morning call as we jump into really like the last week of 2024. It's crazy to think that this year has came and gone so fast. We've got Christmas coming up. I know you guys are all excited, traveling, cooking, getting ready for the holidays here. So hopefully you enjoy this week, get to soak it up with your family. And on today's call, we have a big announcement for you for the 2025 agency trip. This is a destination that I know Alicia has always wanted to go to. I know a lot of you guys have always wanted to go to. And it was something that we had on our radar, but we never really thought that it would be possible so soon, so quick, but it is possible. So I want to hear from you guys. Who thinks they know where it is? Okay, try to take a guess if you think you know where the 2025 agency trip is going to be. We got a week left to wrap up the Cancun qualifications. So many of you guys have qualified for that trip already, and we're locking it down this week. But I'm really excited to announce this next year's trip. It's going to be one that I know you're going to want to run for, and definitely one for the memory books there. So before we jump into that, though, you guys know I love keeping it suspenseful for you. We're going to go over some other stuff first. All right. First and foremost, let's jump into the verse for this week. John 3:16, probably the most famous verse out there, but it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life." I thought that would be a great one going into this Christmas week, celebrating his birthday, celebrating the holiday season. But how true is that, right? Everlasting life. What does that mean? That means that you will live eternally, all right, because of the sacrifice that God did. So think about that. As you go into this week, don't be stressed. Don't be anxious. Just be excited. Be excited for the future, because your life is literally just beginning out there. So John 3:16, probably one of my favorite verses. It's so hard to comprehend that. Okay, I've got 3 kids, 3 sons, and my little daughter, right? 4 kids total, but 3 boys. And when I read this verse, all right, it hits me differently now as a dad, that he would put his son through that just for the mere fact of trying to save us, people that are just undeserving, right? Undeserving of what he's given us. And to think about the sacrifice that he made there, and the pain, right? And all of that Jesus went through and overcame so that we could have that life. It's hard to put words to that, right? It's hard to comprehend that, especially if you think about your own kids, about your own sons, to think about what God did for us there. So going into this week, all right, take that verse for what it is, all right, and soak it up, all right? Enjoy that sacrifice that he made so that you could have a happy, prosperous, and everlasting life. Let's talk about some agents who went big last week, guys. We're down to the crunch time, week 51. All right. Shout out to these agents for not letting up. I know a lot of agents, right, this time of year, it's slowing down. You got traveling you're doing. All right. Presents, Christmas shopping, so much going on the personal side of things. But these agents still went out there and made it happen for themselves. So big shout out to Sam, finding her in the top of the leaderboard. Dougie Fresh. Check it out. Doug had 15 applications last week. All right. That's crazy. Tons of apps for Doug. So nice work to you, Doug. Big shout out to Julie, like always, finding herself at the top of the chart. Savannah, same for her, crushing it like usual. Big shout out to Dennis, out there hustling, doing big things. All right, big shout out to Allie. Hey, Allie took this week, right? And she just went for it, right? So big shout out to her. She had one of the biggest weeks that she's had since starting. So super proud of you, Allie, for putting up those numbers and doing big things out there. Big shout out to Rebecca. All right, Rebecca was not going to let her husband beat her last week. So she came in at the top of the charts there. It looks like all the Christmas chores will be on the hands of Justin this week. Big shout out to Jody, like always, crushing it. All right, I feel like Jody, it's just every time I open up the agency chat, I see Jody's face with a client and another policy. It doesn't matter if I open it up, all right, and then 20 minutes I open it up again, she's with another client closing another deal. So nice job to you, Jody. just dominating it like always. Big shout out to Kelly. Kelly has made a huge end of the year push, and she is putting up some huge numbers the last few weeks. So way to go, Kelly. Big shout out to Ray coming up there in the 10K club on the week for him. Check it out. He had 19 applications last week. All right, 19 lives protected for him. So nice work to him. And then taking home number one, coming back with a vengeance, is Joni, none other than the back-to-back agent of the year. She finished the week at 8 apps, over 11 something $1,000 in production. So for all of you guys running hard, all right, hats off to you for pushing through right up to the end of this year. All right, and I can't wait to see, hey, even with it being Christmas this week, who's going to put their name at the top of the chart this week? All right, I know you guys will do it. I know there's some of you out there hustling through the holidays. So nice work to you guys there on the week. Now let's jump into what you guys have all been waiting for. Let's see what you guys guessed. Okay. All right. We've got some guesses here. We've got Spain. All right. Ivy thinks we're going to Spain. Sam thinks we're going to the Yellowstone. I wish, Sam. Yellowstone is where I wanted to go, but everybody vetoed it. All right. Everybody said that it'd be too cold and they didn't want to do that. So maybe next year, 1 year. Okay. I think maybe in like 50 years when we've literally gone to every other place, then we'll get to pick the Yellowstone. Joni says, which continent? I'll tell you, I'll give you a hint, Joni. It's one of those on that map right there. Okay. One of those continents. At least said it's on planet Earth. All right. So, hey, Turkey. We got one for Turkey. Jess says Turkey. Everyone's wrong so far. All right. So here it comes. Turn your speakers up. Here is the video for the 2025 agency trip. We've got it there. That is the trip, none other than Scotland. All right. So how exciting is that going to be for the 2025 agency trip? Guys, check it out. Scotland is just a different trip all around, right? We've hit the tropical spots. We did Greece. All right. I loved Greece. We've gone to the Dominican. We've going to Cancun, Greece. We've done Vegas. And next up, all right, is Scotland. So we thought about where would be just a lifetime, right? The trip of a lifetime. How about Scotland? The history there is like none other. I know there's a lot of ladies in the agency that like watching that show Outlander. All right. So if you're an Outlander fan, this trip's for you. All right. We did it just for you. For all the ladies that are obsessed with that TV show, we are going to Scotland. Maybe he'll be there. Maybe the Outlander cast will be there when we're there. I don't know. But it is none other than Scotland. It's going to be an awesome trip. We're going to dive into the qualifications here in just a minute. But it'll be a trip that you want to run for. Look, if you're a homebody, all right, like me, I promise you, once you actually get to the destination, it's worth the traveling. Okay. It's worth going through the process to be able to sightsee and to do all of that. And this trip's going to be one for the record books, I think. There's so many cool things to do in Scotland, so many cool things to see. All right, from shops to I heard the pubs are crazy there. There's castles, you name it, right? There's countryside. There's all kinds of cool stuff that we're going to get to do in Scotland. So let's talk about some qualifications here. So here we go. So here is the Travel the World newsletter for you guys that we will post into the agency chat so you can save it going into next year. But guys, this trip, all right, is one that you're going to want to run for because all the qualifications include you and your +1 and your guest here. So let's talk about Scotland and how do you hit it. All right, here is the qualifications. Hopefully you guys can see that okay, but check it out, 135K of individual production. gets you this trip, and you have 12 full months to do it starting January 1st. So $135K, so achievable, all right, to earn this trip of a lifetime. If you want to bump it up, get your airfare included into it, okay, $180K like usual is going to get you the trip and the airfare for you and a +1. All right. And then if you're running hard, building a team, all right, and running for that agency goal, you've got $1 million to hit as an agency to earn yourself the trip for group production there. All right. So guidelines to qualify, guys, very, very simple, right? Just goes off of net issued paid business. What you write is what you get, right? Just make sure that those drafts are going through, make sure your clients are getting approved. All right, and you can hit that. I think it comes out to be like 11 or 12K a month possible for all you full-time agents out there. That's 100% achievable. It's only like $2,500 a week, 25 to 3K a week, okay, of consistent activity is going to get you this trip. So guys, that's all we have for you on today's call. I know you guys are crunched for time this week as you try to squeeze in some last minute AP before Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I'm going to let you guys go, but we are going to Scotland. So couldn't be more excited, all right, to announce that trip for you guys, and couldn't be more excited to get to run together next year as we run to hit new heights as an agency. And then we're going to get to celebrate it with one of the coolest trips yet. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's go have a big day out there. And I will not get to talk to you guys before Christmas. So I hope you and your families have an amazing Christmas. Rest up, relax, have some fun, enjoy some time with your family and with Santa Claus. And I appreciate you guys for being here. We will be back on the call come Friday. Hope everybody has an awesome day.